Okay, wonderful. So glad you guys are on. And I'm glad to see some of our faces that we unfortunately did not get to meet at conference like Ashley. But guess what? Ashley's gonna be in Dallas because she lives in Arlington, so she doesn't show up. I'm gonna go pick her up from her house while we're there. Okay, so all right, I'm excited for us to kind of talk about the next steps with our Rising Stars group. And I know not everybody in here was part of the that's on the Zoom right now was part of the Rising Stars group we had in April necessarily, but that's okay. We're are in March because we're moving into April, so we're going to change it up a little bit. But we did want to kind of talk to you guys and tell you again what we're thinking on the Rising Stars group. This is a little bit of a step up from just being a regular distributor. I don't know if you guys realize this, but I was actually looking at the comp plan a little bit closer today because I was sharing it with somebody. And did you know just a regular distributor in Zingler makes an average of $66 a month? So basically, you pay the $49.95, you get your affiliate link, you pay that one time a year, $50 a year. And on average, just a person that has done that, that is a partner, makes $66 a month. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty cool, honestly. That pays for a collagen a month. You know, you're getting your collagen for free every month. And guess what else? You get to write that sucker off because now you're a business owner and you can tell the government I'm not paying taxes on my product or part of your taxes. So many other things you could write off if you have a business. So just keep that in mind. On average, a manager though, which is what we're working towards having you guys do as Rising Stars, is consistently hit manager or produce managers. They make $444 a month on average, right? And oh, this is the other cool thing. 46% of people that sign up for being a distributor make that $66. 46%. So you're telling me that of all that you are four out of, or it's almost 5 out of 10 people are making that $66. That's awesome. Awesome. Right? And then the percentage of people that hit manager is a little bit less than that. But you guys, that is really exciting to me as we go into this continued explosion with GLPX. So Andrew, what do you have to add, or what would you like to talk about when it comes to moving forward with our Rising Stars group for April?
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, well, I think it's really great I think what I would like to add is that we learned a lot this last month about doing this, and a good leader, whether it's a leader of yourself or a leader of your team, either one, you want to stop and pause and take that time to reflect before you jump into the next month. And sometimes with our business, we're finishing up the end of the month. And so we're focused on that, right? Closing out the month. And then we get into the next month. And I think the inclination is just go do it again. And you just keep, moving forward. But I think if you can stop and pause and think and reflect, how did last month go? How did I do? What did I learn? What do I want to tweak? And then what are my goals for this month? That little pause, even if it's for a couple days, is really, really important. And that's what Melissa and I did. And we really thought about well, what did we see? What went well? What did we hear? What did we learn from you guys? Feedback from you guys? What were the struggles? What were the, successes? So that we can make this next month even better and have even better results. Because when you reflect, you should get then even better results. I'm kind of curious, did you guys pause, reflect, and think back? How did last month go? What were your successes? What were your struggles? So that you could think about what you want for this month. And you could just raise your hand yep, I paused, I thought about it, I reflected. Okay. And then who, because of that reflection, is looking at either, well, maybe you set goals. Who's already set some goals for this month? And then who through their reflection saw their strengths and their either obstacles or challenges, or sometimes I call them gaps. Like, you have this goal and then you have your actions and then you see the gap. And what we're trying to do is close the gap on between what we want and what we're doing. So did you guys see some of those? I would love to know, and I think the easiest thing to do is type it in the chat, honestly, just for time's sake. But I would love to hear like success, and tell us what you guys thought your biggest success was, struggle or gap, and what do you guys think your biggest gap is? Because I think that's going to be really good for Melissa and I, even though we have an idea of what we're going for and where we're headed. I think it's great, real quick, for you guys to do that, not only for us to see it, but I think for each other to see it, right? Because you might find somebody in this group that has the same gap. And if you're working on the same gap, you can push each other to close that gap even better. Or you might find you hear somebody that says, this is my strength. And you're like, oh crap, that's not my strength. That's my weakness. I need to go talk to them and see how is it that that's their strength. So if you guys could just take a minute and pause, I just think it would be really great group, like collective thinking, and go to the chat, whether you're on the phone or the computer, and type in, what was your success? What do you think is like your biggest strength of that you did really well, consistent? And then what was your gap? And you cannot do just your gap. If you only put your gap, right, then you're only in the back of your brain, like we learned at conference, you're only in the negative. I want you in the forefront, that high IQ of what do I do well? Because what we know is that if we focus on the gap only and we don't focus on our success and our strengths, then we're going to get more of what we focus on. So I really want everybody to put their success and their strengths in that chat.
I'm going to read some of them. Okay. So Laura, you're gonna have to give us success too, but it says my gap is the right and left side of our daily sheet. Really good on the left, need some work on the right. But tell us your strength, your success too, Laura.
I think she threw it in just now.
Oh, she's typing it down there.
No, it's just lower.
Oh, it's working every day diligently on at least IPAs. Good job. Awesome.
Well,
Love
it says ding, but
it says what?
I have 3 dogs that are glad to see them home.
That's all right. Oh, and then Edwina says her success is only missed manager by 328 PV, which is really close. Stepped out at reaching out and doing lots of live videos. Gap, need to be more consistent in posting and reaching out. Dina says strength, helping a new start manager and train them. Weakness, not having 1200 inception due to hyper focus on new partner. So yeah, those are good. TM. Oh, that's Tracy. Who's TM? Tracy Marker. Tracy says struggles doing lives, but she was sick for 2 weeks. But also you get nervous live. I would never ever guess you were nervous. I love watching your live. And my strength is doing reels. She likes doing reels, following up, and reaching out. All right, good deal. I would have never known you were nervous doing a live. You're so good. Like, you make me want to go live.
All right. Some people are still typing, I think.
Good.
Melissa's working. I can see it in her face. Regina's working. So I just think it's really good that we can see that, because Melissa and I have, with each time that we do this, we're seeing kind of like what Curtis Call talked about at Fling. Like, we have these steps, right? All laid out. And I mean, Melissa and I talked about this for like an hour last night, you guys. So we have these steps all laid out. But how many of you think or feel that there's like multiple little steps within each big step? Right? Like, okay, we say that this is your step 1. We're going to work on that success planner, but there's lots of moves that go with that success planner, right? So I would say a gap that I have, being fully transparent, is a gap that I have is being consistent with reaching out, not only reaching out to a new person, but picking a person that is truly somebody who I believe is an ideal customer or an ideal partner. And I'm focusing a little bit more on partners. Obviously, they're going to need to use product, but I'm looking for people that I have something in common with. And so I can start those conversations, but I lose track of them sometimes, or I don't, segue into, hey, I'm really looking for somebody that has the same characteristics and qualities that you have. And you make amazing posts, and I love our conversation so far. I'm just curious, have you thought about, increasing your supplemental income? Would you be willing to take a look? Like that's a struggle for me still, even now. Well, that's one of those steps that's going to fill up that left side, right? And move them over to the right side. So we were just talking last night about how we can say, fill out the success planner. But within that, there's some extra moves and steps in order to make that happen. Do you guys feel that way too? Like we can say it's this, but there's all these little nuances that go with it.
Yep.
So I think that's probably a good segue, Melissa, to what we are thinking, because it sounds like, you need to get partners. That's right, Tracy. We need to get partners.
Yep.
Thanks, Regina, for sharing your gap and your strength.
And thank you, Ashley, too.
And Veronica. And Melissa. Awesome.
Yeah, love it. So,
Okay.
the good news too is we'll have this recorded, so we can always come back and look through these, because the big goal is we want to see you grow. This is like we started out last month. This isn't a one and done. This is for Rising Stars, meaning you really want to grow. So the goals that you set every month, you're working towards, and they will be a reflection of that work too. So I'm glad you guys are noticing that. But the next, what we wanted to do with this Zoom is we wanted to talk to you guys about the next part of the process that we feel like we want to go into and kind of run it by y'all. But we would like to go ahead and combine our groups together for the rest of April. I know we're already in a few days. And we would like for you to still move forward with some of those steps and kind of breaking down. Okay, we did our 10-day launch last month. We did social media launches. Everybody got their businesses really up and running. They are working on their pillars, but it doesn't end there. You still have to have events. You still have to consistently post on social media. You still have to have conversations. Your conversations and the conversations you create will convert. And that's where I think we really want to help you guys focus. But the only way to do it is with some consistent work and using your success planner, showing up daily, filling that pipeline, all those things, all those multiple steps within a step, right? So what do you guys think about combining our group for this next month? We still want to have one Zoom weekly, right, Andra? And we were thinking, we don't want we want you to track what you're doing daily, but if it's not an accountability thing to you, because you're like, if I have to write all that down, I'm not going to do it, then don't worry about dropping it down every single day. Just as you do it, do it. If you want to conversate in the group, conversate, ask questions, support each other, let each other know when you're going live, those kind of things. What do you think about that?
Mm-hmm.
Something that Melissa and I have really appreciated it. And I mean, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm hoping that she says she appreciates it. Is when you get to start working with people who are not directly impacted by your income, and you can learn together, work together, support each other, and push each other in a positive way, some really great things can happen. I wouldn't be here, you guys, right now. I wouldn't have hit all my Founders Club. I wouldn't have spoken at Fling if I had not, in the last 2 years, reached out to multiple people that I did not know. and ask them, hey, what are you doing? How is that working? Share with me your ideas on this. I'm stuck on that. Can you share with me what you're doing? Now, of course, I reciprocate that too, right? I'm not just taking, I'm giving as well. But something really pretty cool can happen, not just a friendship. Obviously there's friendship, but it's more than that. It's somebody who could literally pick you up when you feel like you're stuck in the mud, and they can have a conversation with you and, name your strengths, name for you what they see you're doing, help you to, get out of the mud and get back on dry land, I guess you could think of it that way, and move forward. um and your creative juices can flow, and you know that you're not alone in it. So part of the Rising Stars group of combining them together is so that you guys can start working on developing those relationships like Melissa and I have, right? Because Melissa came alongside me 2 years ago at a Founders Club room when I was all by myself, being really shy. I know that's probably very hard for you guys to believe, but ask her. I was like super quiet, wasn't talking to anybody. And she was like, well, come sit with me. Let's go take a picture together. Let's go do this together. And I mean, it just filled my bucket. And you can see Melissa doing that, right, Tracy? But I was totally like super, super shy and quiet. And that experience helped me to realize that everybody is the same, in that we are all human. We all have a story. We all have strengths. We all have gaps. It does not matter your rank. And we really want you guys to develop and collaborate and create those experiences with one little caveat. The whole purpose of it is not to stay in the mud. That's not going to help you. It's not going to serve you, right? So I'll use my example with Carrie Bruce. She was totally in the mud, and she wanted a 10-minute conversation. We ended up talking for an hour. I got her out of that frame of mind and everything. But 2 weeks later, guess who was in the mud? Me. I was stuck. I felt not good. I didn't think I was doing well. And then through multiple voice messages, she named my strengths and she told me what I was doing right. She told me not to be down on myself, and that I was working hard and to keep going and not to give up and keep pushing, keep trying. And I had somebody believing in me. So the deal here is, when you have these people that can do that, you don't get to stay negative together. The whole purpose is to like move out of that and really develop your high emotional intelligence IQ, like we heard at Fling. And sometimes you just need another person that will help you do that. So that's another reason why we thought being in a group together would really help, because you're not on the same team necessarily, but that doesn't mean you're not on the one team altogether, right? One team, one dream. So I just wanted to say that because sometimes it can be implied, and sometimes we need to actually say it out loud. So do we want to talk about how we're going to go through some steps again with some more meat to it, I guess you could say? Do we want to talk about that, Melissa?
Yeah, we can totally do that. And then also, Andrew, what do you think about, because I know a few of them have brought on some partners. So do we want them to bring those new people in, or do we want to help them start their own group?
Well, Shauna's not present. I would say what I need to do probably first is have some conversations with those people to determine if they should, or if we do something kind of separate for them and duplicate it.
Okay.
So that's what I would say for Shauna. Now, for you guys, that may be a different scenario.
Okay. So
I wouldn't feel comfortable. Like, I know it's Dina, right? Deanna? No, what's her name?
Dina and Deanna both had partners.
Yeah, like Deanna, your new one, I don't know anything about Dina's. Deanna, your new one, I would say she's too fresh and too raw, and spoon feeding her and helping her with little steps, but duplicating, these little steps that we're going to do is what I would be doing with her. That's just my outside perspective. You may feel different.
No, I agree with you because actually that's why I told Dina not to put her new person, which you guys all met, which was Lindsay at off. You met
Mm,
Lindsay at conference. I told her last month, don't put your new person in Rising Stars. It'll be overwhelming for her. Just like
mhm,
Deanna, it would be too overwhelming for Tanisha to be in Rising Stars. But I do think
mhm,
that Dina and Deanna and Shauna and whoever else brings on a partner, you need to have the eyes of
mhm.
while you're doing these, this is what I'm going to be doing with my person over here.
Your upline.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's what I would say, because I think in this group, there's some assumptions that we make that Melissa and I make, that you guys have the background knowledge so we can talk about things. So I know for myself, as example, this is only her 4th month as a partner. So I end up having a lot of side conversations with Shauna to explain what it is that we're doing. And I could see that if we put new partners in here, we'd have even more of those. So I would say not to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, I love it. So, let's talk a little bit about making our new group and what we're going to be repeating and maybe what we have done.
Do you want me to talk about that, or do you want to, honey?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So do you guys remember how last time we did our why and we did it like verbally, right? And we put in there what we wanted for the month, or not our why, or goal, excuse me, our goal. Do you guys recall that? Yeah. Okay. This time we're going to dig deeper. Everybody's going to write it out. And why are we going to do this? Because we're actually going to do this with our new person as well. And, I'm learning this from Melissa, and I have some new partners, and I'm having to kind of pick and choose who I do this with. Someone who comes to the table as a partner who says, yeah, if it comes along and it happens and I can share it with a few people, and I get a little bit of product paid for, and I'm okay with that, and they're like, laissez-faire about it, I guess. I'm probably not going to do these steps with them. But somebody who's like my new esthetician, Sharon, who said, no, I want to do this with my business. I want to supplement my income. I want to put it in with my salon. And I really want to create $5,000 a month. I know that won't happen overnight, but that's what I want to do. I will work my business an hour to 2 hours a day. Like, all this stuff was already on a phone conversation, right? Then I would do these steps with her also, because even though she's new, just to kind of clarify that. So that as we do this, think about, like, we're having you guys do it so that you can filter through your new partners and also do it with them. Okay. So it's a little form, and Melissa, you could probably drop it in faster than I can.
Yeah, let me grab it.
And we'll put it in the chat after we make the chat. Which probably Melissa will add her people and then I'll add mine. But basically it just takes you through, like, what's your goal and what's your why? Like, why are you really doing this? And unpacking that. Because it's going to change, right? It's going to change over time. My goals and my why, they always change. Well, my why probably not so much, but my goals. So we're going to start there. And everybody does need to fill that out and complete it. And it's Tuesday night. So there's really no reason why you guys can't have that done by the end of the week. Because it's important. It's part of your business. And, there's no judgment in how you do it or how you fill it out. It doesn't matter if it's easier for you to print it, write it out by hand, take a screenshot picture of it, whatever. Melissa, do we want them to share it in the group as like group accountability, or share it with their upline?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that it's just up to you guys. I know initially when I did my why, I was like, oh, I just want to help people, right? But then when I really got into it and I really thought about it and it was important to me, I wanted other people to know about it.
Yeah, I think there's some level of cool, pretty personal accountability because we're not judging, right? We're helping. So if I read Deanna's and I know what her goal is and her why is, then I will have an easier ability to like support her and encourage her, even though I'm not your upline. So I'd say let's share it. Just know it's a safe space. Nobody's judging, nobody's comparing. Remember, comparison's a thief of joy. So yours does not need to be good as or better than. There is no such thing here. It's just it is yours, period. End of story. Okay. And then after we have you guys do that, we're going to jump right into another little next step. And everybody in here is already, you guys are already leveraging your results groups every single day, right? You're all adding 10 new friends to your results group every day. Does everybody do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't necessarily either because of where I am in my business, right? But I know I need to because my funnel is getting less and less, and that helps your funnel. Melissa, however, you do it every day, don't you? Every single day you have people added to the results group, right?
Almost.
Yeah, pretty
That
close
looks
because I
good
think
to say that you say that.
yeah, I see. So that would be one thing, right? And then the other one is what's the other second step? You know the steps better than I do, Melissa.
So I'm trying to get this to pull up, you guys, and I don't know, the PDF isn't wanting to send in the chat of Zoom. So I'll just have to, when we make our new group, I'll drop it. But
There you go.
so, you know, we are going to also help you with the comp plan because you do need to understand how to make money and how to explain that to a degree to get new partners. That's part of having, you got to tell people how they're going to make money, right? So, in the very beginning, we want to know your why. We want to you understand how you're making money, how people make money with it. And then the second thing is, that we want you to do is goes back to, making your list. So you got to set your goals, right? Do your why, your vision, and then you got to go ahead and back and make your list. And so that's going to come back to using the testimonial page, using your lead generator, going back and having some of those conversations that convert. We'll dig a little bit deeper into that, but we have a success path checklist that also goes along that we're going to share with you guys. That's a little bit deeper than just the first 4 steps. You should have already watched the first 4 steps, which were the basic overviews of setting a goal, making a list, having an event, because we did that Facebook event last month, and then duplicating. We're going to go into the movements within those steps, just like Curtis was talking about. There's those little moves in between. So we have another deeper dive into the success path checklist that we want you guys to go over. Okay. We will have 2 more events for you to plug into. Most of you plugged in the event tonight. Andrew already gave us great verbiage of what to send out for people that want the recording. Then it's going to be up to you to follow up with them. Okay. The next event we'll have is on the 22nd. That will be an opportunity event for business people. And you're going to want to drive those customers to that. You're going to want to drive those specific prospects that you've identified that are your people that you want them to do it, right? So yes, that's exactly what I want you guys to do is to leverage those events. But in the meantime, have your own events. I saw Edwina already planned an in-person event. So having things to drive people to and getting in front of people so that you can have those conversations that convert are really important. And yes, Ashley, one thing that we do is go through. That's why you have to add friends to Facebook and increase your Facebook friend list because then that gives you more people to invite to your testimonial pages. And in the past, we have said, okay, if they show interest, we'll add them. But now we want to be more proactive of inviting people to come and check out what you're doing. And especially with our gut driven living page, that's our other page we use. So, okay. Anyone else have anything you want to add or questions?
So basically, we're just going to refine those same steps that we did. Because, like, I was on a call tonight and they wanted to know, how is it that I'm doing what I'm doing? And you know what I described and told them? I told them my story of when I started and what I did every day when I started. I told them how I hit a rank every other month. And what did I do to hit that? Literally, you guys, I told them my story of what I did when I first got started 5 years ago, because that hasn't changed. And then I helped other people do the same. So sometimes we want to overcomplicate it, but the biggest change, of course, is not just you doing it, but you going and showing somebody else. So if we can get really good at doing it ourselves, it's going to be a lot easier to teach somebody else how to do it. So that's why we want to go through these steps with you guys and refine them, not because we don't think you have them down or that, we don't think that you're doing them. It's so that you get so good at them that it's going to be like second nature when you go to help somebody else do it too. And we want you guys to, you have to continue, even when you have a new partner. Deanna's experiencing this and Dina already knows this. Even when you have a new partner, you have to still build your own business. You cannot put all of your energy into your new partner. You have to still be enrolling your own enrollments. And I can see Dina like nodding her head on that.
That just means you have to have more
It's
conversations.
hard.
Yep.
So Dina, you feel like, why don't you just talk with Melissa then? If you really think that Lindsay is hungry, and since we are going to go like through it from the very beginning, now, I mean, I'm borderline too, even with Shauna's, like I'm borderline. She's got 3 of them. One of them was in our last Rising Stars group. So I need to go back and talk to her. She's got another one. She says she's hungry. She says she's coachable. She's been doing all the things that we ask her to do. And then she's got another one who, same thing, didn't hit her quick start. So we're working on manager. And I mean, that's why I'm kind of torn as well. So, knowing that we're going to go back to the beginning and we're starting over, I mean, talk with Melissa and see, but I still think Tanisha is too new, but maybe not. I mean, you guys talk about it and see, because we are going to go through it, but we're not going to go through it super slow. Whereas with a new partner, we would go through it a little bit slower.
Is it okay if I say something?
Yeah,
Of course.
I just, with Lindsay specifically, she came on feeling, and I felt like she was about 10 steps ahead of the typical person coming on. She's been watching me for some time. She kind of has a different experience in terms of like running her own business, talking to lots of people. And Melissa, would you agree? I mean, she already kind of figures out how to switch the verbiage on her own. She's a self-starter. And that's actually how she's even explained herself. So it was a little bit almost frustrating to her that I had her weight, but she also understood why I was having her weight. So I kind of feel like she would take the assignment and actually do it. And then my other 2, one was in Rising Stars and one is a gold manager that's wanting to rebuild. So I kind of feel like in that case, or the other option I thought of is there a way for us to do a group together? Like if I had somebody who wasn't quite as ready as Tanisha, because I know she's brand new, could we make like a smaller group with those babies where we're all working together that way? So
makes sense to me.
Just some things to think about. Like, because we all have people that we're wanting to bring on, but if I just had one, I'm like, here's my one person, you're in the Rising Stars chat and you're by yourself with me. Yay. Like, I just feel like we're wanting to get to the place where we have lots of people in our chat that are on our team. But if we can kind of collaborate where everybody brings 1 or 2 of the babies and we kind of baby step the babies together, that might help.
Well, and there could be some good momentum. I think the one thing, and I talk about this with Melissa all the time, is that even when we're in a group, that doesn't mean that you don't have one-on-one conversation with the person you're mentoring also. right? I mean, I'm sure all of you are having one-on-one conversations with Melissa at some point in time during the week. Would you guys agree with that? You're not just relying on this chat for that. You're reaching out to her when you need something individually, correct? But I also would say, and you guys can show with like a raise of hands, or somebody can unmute and tell me, but do you feel like you guys, and this is not a dig on Melissa, so you're not going to hurt her feelings. I want you to be honest. Do you guys, because we talked about this yesterday, do you guys feel like you do more reaching out to her so that she knows that you need her? Or is she reaching out to you and saying, do you need me? Like at this stage of the game, what do you guys feel like is going on? What do you think, Tracy?
I'm muted. Oh, I'm not muted, right? You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I probably reach out to Melissa way more just because I'm constantly asking for help and, whatnot. But I'm okay with it because I don't want, I don't want her to feel like she has to bug me all the time because I do a really good job bugging her. So I'm good with it. As long as I'm good with it.
And there's no right or wrong. That's why I'm curious. Who else feels like they're like that? Edwina?
I do. I pick on Melissa a lot. If she does, I know she's super busy because there's way more than just me out here needing her attention and her expertise. So I reach out to her, and I probably bug her more than you do, Tracy, because if I don't get her in one group, I go to another group or send her a text message.
That doesn't bug me.
I said,
I love it.
on how desperate I'm needing her. Otherwise, I'll just send her a message in whatever form and wait for her to answer. But I said, it depends on how quick I need the answer. If I don't know it, or if I can't get it from somebody else, because she is super busy, but she's always there.
I love it. I know Regina reaches out to me and she'll ask me, really quick questions. And so the reason why I asked that question is I actually had a new partner. She hasn't quite hit her quick start. She's got 3 more days. And we just had a conversation. And what I had to say to her was, if I'm always the one reaching out to you, I'm not so sure if it's a good day or if it's good timing or if you're ready, where you're at. But if you reach out to me every day and you tell me, hey, I'm ready for this. Hey, I need help with that. Hey, so-and-so has this question. Hey, I tagged you in blank. Then I know she's serious. She's hungry. She wants it. She's ready to go. And I never worry about people overwhelming me. I want 80% of my time spent with my new partners and new customers, and only 20% of my time spent with my customers. Like I really, that's where the time and energy is. So I guess why I asked that question is because I want everybody in here to know, reach upline for what you need and don't ever think you're bothering us, because you're not.
And that's actually one of my strengths, is strategic and being an activator. So I like to know what you're doing, and I like to know what you're working on, or what you think you should do, or what you think this person should do, or how do I get this person to rank advance, or how do I get this person to share. That's part of my strategy, strategic strength. But I was also going to tell you, that's why we're going to share the Success Path checklist with y'all. Because the Success Path checklist that we're going to share with you guys will help you know what to do. And then when you get stuck, or if you have a question or you don't understand why we're doing it, these orders or whatever, you could be like, okay, let me go back and ask. But that also shows that you're doing your side.
And with that said, Melissa and I know that there's still things that are missing off this list. And
So
we need your help. We need your feedback. Hey, I'm working on this and I just realized we kind of missed this step. We think that this should be added onto our checklist, because remember, you're thinking about it not just for yourself, but you're for your partner or your next partner. So we want that feedback because we can see certain things that we're wanting to tweak, but you guys have another perspective, and we need to hear that from you. So we're excited to work with you guys to help you, but it is helping us too, selfishly, because we're trying to figure out good ways to lead as well.
Yep. So,
all right. it's 8:20. What other questions do you guys have?
I don't see any tech thing in the chat.
I have a quick question. It has
Yes.
nothing to do, is it okay? It has nothing to do with the Rising Stars, not so much. But I know Andra said that she had somebody that wanted to come on with the Power Duo. And I as well just got a text message that they're wanting to do the Power Duo for tonight. But is there some type of strategic move that we should do there because the trim sticks is on sale? So they go ahead and do the Power Duo and start the trim sticks now, but maybe go ahead and order more for next month. Does that make sense?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Okay.
So I know what I would do, Ashley, is I would and I would encourage them to probably buy the fruit punch because it's on sale. But I mean, they can choose fruit punch, orange pineapple, or dragon fruit, right? Remember, the dragon fruit does have a little bit of a different formula because it's made with organic stevia, like you and I were talking earlier today.
Yes.
But if they start their trim sticks and a food plan, they're gonna have better success. But then they would need to also do a subscription because their GLPX, honestly, the way things are looking right now, I bet you that GLPX, if they get it ordered today, they'll have it the first part of May with the
Okay.
stuff that we're getting in because we have such, and so then they'll have their new trim sticks come again at the beginning of May, right? Because they'll be on.
So have them do the go ahead and have them order the Power Duo today with whatever trim sticks we think, whatever they decide on, and then set it up as a subscription. No, wait,
Yep.
no. So when do we, but do they get the 10% off if they're doing the fruit punch in the Power Duo, or is it only a separate order?
Nope, they get the 10% off because they're a new.
I don't think so.
Andrew's
Melissa.
saying no.
Oh,
I don't
is
think
it
so because
because
I'm looking it up right now. It's 146 as a Power Duo. I was just going into that, sweetheart, to just see. And so let's say they do 75 plus 71, they do regular fruit punch, right? It's 146 if they do that. Which is what it is. So instead you take that 71, take off $7, and then you build the Power. There is no like special pricing with the Power Duo. So I would just go in and do it individually and you're going to save them a little money. It's going to be 139. Just know your PV will go down as well.
Okay. But do the subscription, I mean, go ahead and order the Power Duo and then put it also on subscription.
Well, I don't know that you can put the Power Duo on subscription because it's including the GLPX. And we have been told right now you cannot put GLPX on there, but you could put their trim sticks in their subscription. And that's what I would do.
yeah?
Okay.
And I don't think you
But
can
they-
actually order the Power Duo, can you? As a combo right now, Andra?
Yeah,
'Cause I was
it's right
thinking that-
here and
Oh, well, never mind.
it's
I
right
was
here
just-
in front of me. As an enrollment, you can, not in the shopping cart, but as an enrollment, it's listed as the Power Duo for 146 for trim fruit punch and orange pineapple and 148 for the dragon fruit.
Okay.
So if they want the fruit punch to save them $7, then, you know, you might be their new
Just do
best
it
friend if you
separate.
offer that for them.
Yeah.
And if you really, I mean, I know that the way Melissa did it was with the probiotic. It depends on their needs, but my favorite thing to put in there is the Zing if they want weight loss. So I like to do GLPX trim sticks and Zing, and then they get their Zing and trim sticks to start with, and then they add their GLPX to elevate their results. If they say, I'm doing this more for gut health, then I'll do the trio like what Melissa suggested tonight. And so just, you know, you got to think through the lens of like what they want. But the nice thing is if you could get them to order 3 products and get 10% off on that trim sticks, then they'll have free shipping. So then they're going to save another $9 in shipping. So now they're saving $16.
Mhm. Do you have to kind of
So
word it?
it's just, you know, it's just another thing to think about, Ashley, like, hey, I can save you $16 if you want to get 3 things, and then you make the suggestion based on what their needs are.
Okay.
And then sometimes
And then
they'll upsell.
Okay. And I'm sorry. I have to add all the different things, but free shipping is after how much? 135?
$200.
Oh, see, I made
Really
135.
199, to be honest with you. They changed it to 199.
Okay.
And I just sent you some verbiage that was upsell verbiage from the boards.
Okay. Perfect.
And you can
But if
edit
they order, well, however I do it, whether it's the pre-order of the GLPX, or do y'all think you should go ahead and order 2 bottles, or like, so if they'll get this one in the middle of May or beginning of May, should she go ahead and order 2? Or is it going to be normal, we think? I see all of y'all going, I don't know.
I think based off of the amount that we've pre-ordered, I really think we will be caught up on orders within the month.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
we're not gonna, if people just put it on subscription, they're gonna get it in June.
Okay.
But they gotta put it on subscription.
And if you think that she's in a financial situation that she can order 2 of those plus trim sticks, and it's not a money thing, then I would be going back to what her needs are. And I guess too, Ashley, are you in a group chat with Dina to close
Melissa,
and enroll her?
with me.
No, it's with Melissa, but no, I haven't. We just,
So sorry.
That's okay. So no, I talked to her on Sunday, and well, Melissa, you know my sister Brandy, so it's her like soon to be, okay, I don't even know. It's a boyfriend's mom, whatever. And so we were talking about it, and she wanted to know, and then next thing I know, Greg, my brother and my sister-in-law have both used. I mean, anyways, they've used them for a while. And so next thing I know, they were looking up all the kits, and they were like, whoa, $600, whatever. So right away they started looking at kits before I could even really talk too much about their needs. I know she needs to lose about 10 pounds. She works out quite a bit, but she has this last stubborn 10 pounds that she can't lose.
Well, yeah, I think if we do a 3-way message, we can help her find the good fit.
Okay, I'll start one.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. She's not on Facebook, so we'll have to do it old school.
Yeah, do a
She
group
has
text.
no social media whatsoever.
That's okay. More and more of my friends are like that.
But she did watch tonight, so that was good.
Yeah. That's why we do them on Zoom. Because
Yeah.
I'm finding more and more of my friends are not on social. I'm like,
And you might even find, like, for any of you, like, I know why my person asked for the Power Duo. It is a financial decision. But you might ask her, hey, what was it about the Power Duo that you really liked?
Okay. And that
And
may be my
then-
fault because she was so dead set on the GLPX, because on our little picnic, at our Easter picnic, they were talking about how I had added to my product and what my sister, whatever. And so she was like, so I just want the GLPX. And I was like, well, I wouldn't do just that. So I had already kind of sold her on at least getting trim sticks with the GLPX and not just that
So you've
product.
already done the upsell for her. So that's good. You're on the right track, Ashley. It sounds like
Well,
you're
now we
doing
need to
awesome.
upsell.
Maybe. Maybe. It sounds like you're doing good though. I mean, getting her in the door, that kind of thing. But Melissa's got you covered.
Okay.
I think that's it though, guys. I'm just watching the time. I want to be, honor everybody's got to get up and go to work in the morning and all that good stuff. So I think, Melissa, we're just making our group next, and we're gonna do Rising Stars ×2.
Yep.
Take 2.
and
You guys ready?
I'll drop the recording and I'll drop you guys that PDF. And then we'll schedule a Zoom for next Monday. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds
And
good.
then we'll work on power hours too. Like, I gotta build them in my calendar so I can tell you guys times and everything, because I do really think that they will work and they will help a lot. So we're gonna try to get those on there. So different times of the week so that you guys have a couple options to plug into.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All righty.
Have a good night.
Excited to work with you guys.
Bye,
Thanks,
y'all.
everybody. Have a good night.